Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only your baby girl, Malaika. Likers, today we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy's Where We Got It Wrong, episode 50. You know, so the scene started where Chinwe, Monachi, Rita, and Auntie they are waiting because ever since Dan left with the money, they haven't gotten any news from him. They have not had any feedback. So they were waiting for his call, or they are waiting for the kidnappers to call to say that okay, they have received their money, they should come and pick up AGK, but nothing. So they were worried. They're like, why is it that they have not called up till now? And for Anzia, he just wants Dan to come so that he will teach Dan the lesson he will never forget, lesson of his life. After hearing that Dan was the one molesting Chinwe, when she was at the baby factory. All of a sudden, the kidnappers called. They were like, you lied to. So as they called Chinwe, Monachi, the first thing she said was like, where's my husband? Where's my husband? The guys were like, you lied to us. You said you were sending the money, but still, till now we've not seen anything. And Monachi was like, of course, Dan, my husband's friend, he came with the money. He brought you guys the money. I thought you guys would call to tell me that we should come and pick up my husband. They were like, since you tricked us, your husband is going to buy, you are going to buy him. She started screaming. They hung up, she started screaming, my baby, where is my baby? She was crying like. Then Monachi asked, oh, is it that Dan like ran away with the money? So Chinwe asked, is it that Dan ran away with the money? When Monachi heard that, she screamed. She was like, no, my baby, 100 million naira, my baby. Like, no, this is not possible. The next scene is the kidnappers were like, they duped us, they lied to us, and they're trying to play us. And Ejike was like, no, it's not possible. My wife cannot lie. She doesn't lie. If they gave Dan the money, then Dan will bring the money. If Dan is not here with the money, it definitely means there's a mix-up somewhere. You know, and like us, it's very funny because I don't know. I was thinking that by now, Ejike would have realized that Dan is behind this. Like one or two things would have made him to understand that this thing is a setup. But apparently still not. He hasn't figured out. He hasn't figured it out, or like he's still thinking, he's delulu, he's delusional, honestly. So the kidnappers tried now to call Dan. It's not going through. And they were like, they could not speak in front of AGK what they are suspecting. So they were like, what's going on? Now, the next thing is Dan cruising, like he was talking on the phone with somebody. Then he was like, he was saying, like, he was laughing, he was saying his flight, he's going to catch a flight now. Then when he hung up the phone, he was laughing. He was like, oh, that he's outsmarted. He was proud of himself, like, oh, I outsmarted everyone, meaning he outsmarted Monachi and the kidnappers as well. He was happy. He was cruising around like on his way to the airport. And he was like, oh, my beautiful Choma, my little Choma, my wife, may your soul rest in peace. And he was good. Oh, God. Like, honestly, I knew already. I knew that Dan was behind this. I already knew that. So it wasn't a surprise for me, for real. So the next scene is Chinwe, Monachi back in the house. Like Monachi, everyone was devastated. Then, like Richard was like, I can't believe that Dan stole from us. Dan is evil. Dan is wicked. Like as these guys, that they are making me angry because you guys, you didn't need a soothsayer to tell you who Dan was. Dan was evil from the very beginning. Dan was evil. Like you could smell evil everywhere when it has to do with Dan. And they were like, Chinwe was like, she can't believe that Dan stole the money, Dan duped them, Dan did, like, oh, you guys should calm down. So Monachi was like, she's finished. She's finished. So her mom was like, you're not finished. It's okay. Dan has done his own. Let God do the rest. Like, God will do his own. So Monachi's mom walked away. So the Chinwe was there. She was devastated. Then all of a sudden, like guilt, like Andy started feeling guilty. So in his guilt, he said, he should have known that Dan told him that he was jealous of Ejike. But he didn't tell Ejike because Ejike would have never believed him. And it's true, like as Ejike loved Dan more than he cared about Andy. To him, Dan was his best friend. Andy was a nobody to him. Whereas Andy was the one that genuinely cared about him. you know. So Monachi asked, like, what about the police? So Andy told her that the police are on it, but the police are blaming them because they said they were supposed to go to them. Well, immediately the kidnap it happened, but they couldn't because Dan was involved. Dan would have convinced that guy had it was as if Dan's mouth had sugar, had date syrup, like it was sweet, as if he was coated in date syrup, like as honestly, you know. So Andy said he also went to their house. He couldn't find Chioma. He couldn't find that. Like no one was there. So when Andy said that he couldn't find Dana and Chioma, so Rita was like, she doesn't like this at all. Then Andy told him that he swears Dan is going to pay with his life. That Dan can never get away with this. Then he stormed out. So the next scene now is the kidnapper scene. The kidnappers, they managed to catch up with Dan, like us. Oh God. See how I was smiling, when they brought Dan in, they caught up with Dan, they brought him in. So and when Ejike saw him, Ejike was like, Dan, what are you doing? Why did you guys catch him? What are you doing with him? Like he was feeling, oh my God, being innocent is, but it's nice, I like the fact that Ejike, everything is happening so that he could see. If they spare his life, he could appreciate people more. I'm happy that this is happening to him. So they pushed him, he sat down and he was like, you people should let him be, you people should leave him alone. And the other one was like, do you know this guy wanted to steal from us? And Ejike was like, steal from you? How? What do you mean? He has given you guys the money now. They said, no, the plan was not like that. That the plan is he was supposed to collect the 100 million, give us our share and take his share. Ejike still didn't understand, was like, what are you people talking about? The guy said he was supposed to take 40 million and give us 60 million. We were supposed to share 20 million. And he was like, what are you people talking about? They said, so you still don't understand that this is the mastermind behind it. He sent us to kidnap you. He asked us to kidnap you. He's the one who planned everything. He's here now. You can ask him. And HK was like, Dan, are they telling the truth? He said, yes. He was like, what? He said, yes. So Ejike got confused. Dan was like, can you handle the truth? Ejike couldn't believe his eyes and his ears. Like, Dan was like, yes, can you handle the truth? Dan is like, yes, I am jealous of you. I want your life. You have the life that you're living. That is my dream life. That was supposed to be my life. How can you say somebody's life was supposed to be yours, Dad? That was supposed to be my life. You have a beautiful wife, an intelligent wife, like you have everything that I wanted. You have a family. You had everything, but I managed to get rid of all of that for you. I managed to make you the most hated person. I managed to make, like, Ejike vomited everything that I already suspect. Dan vomited everything that I already suspected. Ejike was like speechless. Dan told him, look at my life. I have no identity. You had a family, you had parents, but I managed to make you, they loved you so much. I managed to make you to hate them. Like I did everything. And Dan was like, Ejike was like, Dan, you were my best friend. Dan was like, you that were sending me on an errand like a little boy. Like today you are a rich man, but you are lonely, you are miserable. I have succeeded and you are going to buy here. Then Dan told him, Ejike told Dan that, Dan told Ejike that even his factory was the one who brought it down. He was the one who burned down Ejike's factory. Like us, like imagine the type of friends and the enemy you've been keeping in the name of friend. So Ejike now, Dan tried to seize the gun from the kidnappers to shoot Ejike, but the kidnappers uh, didn't let him. Instead they shot him. So Ejike was like, he screamed. He was like he couldn't believe. So finally Ejike was like, he couldn't say anything, he just kept quiet. So like, as we are going to end this video, please tell me what you all think about it. Please like, comment, subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that I'll be the first to notify whenever I post any new video. I would also my returning subscribe, my like as my lovers. I love you guys so super much. And on this note, I have to say bye guys. Like us, we should always be careful of people we keep around. We should always pray for God to open our eyes to see the kind of friends we have around us. Okay. Thank you guys. Mwah.